Hello everyone, and welcome to today's tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you how to use the Liquify tool in Photoshop. First things first, we go to the Filter tab at the top of the page and click on Liquify. This will open a different panel where you could see settings on the right side and tools in the taskbar on your left. Now as we can see, there are multiple tools such as the Forward Warp tool, Reconstruct tool, Smooth tool, Twist clockwise, the Pucker tool, Bloat tool, Push left tool, Freeze mask, Thaw mask, the Face tool, the Hand tool, and the Zoom tool. So these are all pretty cool to use. Now let's go use the Forward Warp tool first. And as you can see, you can change the size and the density depending on what you want to deal with. These are all customizable settings, but I don't need to since this is just a simple tutorial. First things first, let's just play around. Let's zoom in, go to the Forward Warp tool, and let's play around with the shape of the face for a bit. Now this is what it looks like when you use it. And then you could use the Reconstruct tool just to kind of bring things back to the way they were if you want to get rid of it, I guess. Then you could use the Smooth tool to make things, I guess, seamless. So let's use the Pucker tool for now. We could use them on the eyebrows to make them look thinner or thicker using the Bloat tool, whatever you'd like. But this is just to show you what it looks like. And then you could go to the Bloat tool to play around, maybe make the nose a little bigger. And then go to the Smooth tool to make it look more natural. Now this is the preview button. It shows you, well, what you've done before and the changes that you made. So you can go back and really see the difference. Now, if you want to use the Bloat tool, this is what it looks like. This is just an example. I'm going to get rid of it, but yeah. Now we're going to use the Face tool. Now this is really cool. It highlights the face itself and you can change the dimensions. So the size of the face, the jawline, the angle of the eyes, the size of the eyes. Now let's enlarge the eyes a little bit just so you guys can see what it's capable of. And you could change the size of the nose, the width, the height, the placement on the face. You could also change the size of the lips, the thickness, the top lip, the bottom lip, the angling of the smile or the facial expression, I guess. And let's just change the size of the jawline real quick. As you can see, there's a lot of flexibility with this tool, and it's really cool to use. We could also change the size of the forehead depending on what you like, what your preference is. And then we could go to the Freeze mask tool. Let's change the size a little bit so it's easier to use. And what this tool basically does is it prevents your edits to affect certain parts of the page. So let's say for now that I'm going to use the Bloat tool to make the hair a little bit poofier. We'll use the Freeze mask tool to highlight the areas you don't want affected. Let's increase the size of the Bloat tool, and oops, looks like we missed a spot. We'll go back and do that. And let's get on with the changing, I guess. So this is what it looks like when you just tap it lightly. I'm using the pen tablet right now for this. It's easier to use. And then use the Thaw mask tool to get rid of the the Freeze mask. And then you could see what the changes look like at the previews. It's very subtle changes, but they are changes nonetheless. Now the Smooth tool could be used if something looks a little bit too unnatural and you want to make it look a little better. And now let's move on to the arms. Now I just wanted to make small adjustments so we could change the size of the Freeze mask tool. Go around the arms a little bit just so the jacket around it won't be warped or affected in any way. Now you can be as specific as possible, like you can be as detailed as possible with this, but it helps to be, I guess, precise. Now you could use the Thaw mask tool at any time to erase or do detail work, like just to be sure, like to get rid of that area a little bit there. And yeah. Let's fix that area a bit there. Alright, so let's go to the Bloat tool. or the push left tool. So this is basically what it does. It's a very unpredictable tool, I guess. If you know how to work it, then that's great, but then we're gonna go to the push left tool. As you can see, this is kind of what it does to the face. It's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. It's very unpredictable though. Now let's go to the reconstruct and fix that, because we don't want that in the picture at the end. And there we go. Let's bloat the hands a little bit, make them a little bit bigger. As you can see, we're just lightly tapping, not pressing too much, just to make sure that it's evenly spread out. And then that's it. Preview, look at the difference, and then get rid of the freeze mask. Click on the thaw mask tool, increase the size, and there you go. It's a complete picture. Let's check the preview one more time and click OK to save your changes. Now let's check another picture. This is another way to use the Liquify tool. Now if you click Liquify without actually going to the panel, it liquefies it for you. So as you can see, there's a difference where the eyes are a little bit more enlarged than the mouth is, and the jaw's a little bit wider. You could actually see the difference if you undo and redo the Liquify. And if you want to actually go ahead and do the detail work on the Liquify itself, you go to the filter and then Liquify. Panel pops up again and work your magic. Let's go to the push left tool just to see how it works. It warps the page incredibly well, and this is something you can have a lot of fun with if you know how to use. All it takes is just to get used to the mechanics. Let's have a little fun with that for a minute. No need to be serious all the time. And then we're going to reconstruct the face to actually get into what I wanted to show you guys. Now you can change the size and the density depending on how much you want it to actually affect it. Now we'll go to the forward warp tool, zoom in a little bit just so we could get our bearings. And this is something I wanted to try out for a while. A while ago there was this trend of the wavy eyebrows, and I never realized how it worked, and now we know. So it's a really simple tip, really. You could have so much fun with this. It is at your disposal. And let's mess up the eyebrows a little bit, maybe mess up the lips, make them wiggly. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I mean, you could have so much fun with this. The sky's the limit. Alright, so you could also do like a face melting effect with the warp tool, really. Let's try to do this with the eyes a little bit. And then you could go over it later with the smoothing tool and the edges. You see where like there are white bits? You could fix that later. But I'm gonna leave them there just for the sake of time in this video. Alright, and then you could see the previews obviously later on. You could see it's really cool. And let's zoom out for a bit, just so you could see the full picture. And there it is. Now as you can see the previews, what it looked like before, what it looks like now. It's a pretty cool tool, really. It has a lot of potential. And now let's move on to making changes, like subtle changes. These, if you click Liquify normally, it affects the page, it affects the image around you randomly, so you can't really tell what it'll do. As you can see, it warped the fence in the background and a bit of her shirt. But this can be avoided, obviously, so just like undo and then go to the filter tab, Liquify, and continue what you were doing earlier. So I'm gonna use the freeze mask and zoom in a little bit just so I can get closer, get more detail in. As you can see, I'm covering parts of her face so her face doesn't warp when I'm warping the hair. So this is a trick I learned a while back, where it's, if you want to give hair a little bit more volume or make it bigger, then you use the mask that I showed you and the bloat tool, but really lightly, just tap it, and then if it looks a little bit warped at the end, use the smooth tool to smooth it out and it'll look great. As you can see, it kind of fixes the weird warping. And then just erase that stuff away and click the preview, and as you can see, it looks a little bit different. Now that warped my background a little. I'm gonna fix that. Change the size and the density. There we go. Let me fix the other sides as well. And there you have it. And then let's focus on the face for a bit. So we could change the angling of the eyes. I'm gonna make the eyes a little bit bigger on both sides. Maybe the nose just a little bit lower, a little bit thinner maybe. Change the angling of the mouth. The size of the lips. Now this is all just to show you potential. And let's change the size of the jawline, the size of the face. And there you have it. Let's check the previews. Subtle changes, but really good if you're working on a portrait that you want to fix. And that's pretty much it. The rest is just up to you. You could have so much fun with this tool. It really is up to you. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it was useful to you. And I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.